Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all are fine. Welcoming to the next video class, children. The last class we had completed some general topic about morphology, isn't it? Do you remember that? Did you watch that? Say yes or no? Yes. So each and every class we take a half an hour time. Please watch that videos. Okay? Then you will be identifying some basic concepts, children. So that's why I am requesting you, ma'am. Please all should watch that video class. Clear? Yes. Shall I ask some questions regarding that last class video? Say yes or no? Yes. Good. Very good, children. What do you mean by morphology, children? What do you mean by morphology? Very good. Study about the external characteristic features of an organism. So here we are going to learn about that. The subject is botany. So the plant external characters only learned, isn't it? Yes, good. What are the two major types of morphology? Vegetative morphology and reproductive morphology. Clear? Yes, very good. Vegetative morphology means they comes under that's a two parts. What are the two parts? Very good. Root system and shoot system. Clear? Then reproductive morphology means so they comes under very good. Flower, inflorescence, fruits, seeds, everything else comes under reproductive morphology. Understood? Yes, very good. Then so there is the vegetative morphology. So there comes under four important components. Clear? What are the four important components? Very good. Habitat, habit, lifespan. Isn't it? So these are the habit. These are the essential components. They comes under vegetative morphology. Clear? Have you got an idea about that general topic of morphology, children? Say yes or no? Yes, very good, children. So today's class we are going to learn about that is the next general topic, parts of flower. Isn't it? The parts of flower. Parts of flower means, so that is we are commonly called as the name is known as angiosperms. What does that mean, children? Angiosperms. Clear? The first one, this angiosperm plants also called as, and another one name is known as magnoliophytes. Magnoliophytes. Clear? That's the terms you have to be supposed. So somewhere they are asking in one word, angiosperm is otherwise called as which names mean. So you should know that. So that is called as the name is known as magnoliophytes. Clear? Yes. But first of all, we are going to learn about, if we are looking in this is the angiosperm plants. You know that the flowering plants is we are called as the name is known as very good. So that is we are called as so all should look here. So this is the one of the flowering plants. Clear? So this is the sporophyte plants, the angiosperm. So that is they are called as the life cycle is the sporophyte and very good. So that is the gametophyte members, isn't it? But the sporophyte, so the sporophyte is well developed, children. So here they consisting of two parts. One is shoot system. Understood? Then, so here there is a second one is root system. I mean the sporophyte that acts as underground part is we are called as the name is known as root system. And then, so that's the aerial part of this plant. So that is we are called as the name is known as, what does that mean, children? Very good. Shoot system. Understood? The first one, you know about this sporophyte. That is the axis they presents, they dividing in two system, root system and shoot system. Understood? Then the shoot system means so they have that is the branches, leaf, fruits, flowers, and then inflorescence. Everything as they comes under in a shoot system. Clear, children? Yes. The next one, today's class just we are going to learn about that is the root system, children. Okay, so you know that angiosperm plants means, so they comes under two types children. That's the axis. Below region is we are dividing in one, and above regions of the soil level is we are dividing in, that is another one. Clear? The first one. So today's class we are going to learn about, that is the root system. Okay, the root system means, first one, you know that this is the underground part. Clear? So this is a root system. But what does mean by a root? So if we are making, this is the root means. So this is the root means. So there is the non-green in color. Clear? So there is no chlorophyll. That's a lack of chlorophyll component is there. So that is that they didn't get, that is the green in color. Clear? Understood, ma? Then what is the nature of this root part means? So the root is, that is growing positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic in nature. The roots are positively geotrophic and negatively, that's the phototrophic in nature. That is the growing nature of this roots. Clear? Then if we are looking, this is the root system. So this is the root system. Clear? So here they present in these small fine rootlet is there, isn't it? Root hairs, or we are telling in that root hairs. These root hairs only mainly they doing in one of this function. Can you able to say this is the, what is the functions of root? Very good. Tell me children. Yes. Good. Very good. So they absorb water and minerals from the soil level. Clear? That's the major functions of roots. The next one we are going to learn about, that's what is the characteristic features. You know this, what is mean by roots. Then what is the nature of the roots. Then we are framing in certain points about, that is the characteristic features of this root. Clear? What about the characteristic features of the roots means? First already I said this point. This root is the growing nature is positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic, isn't it? Then the roots are, there is not presence in the nodal region and internodal regions and bud regions. Clear? But except that one of this species, sweet potato, that root, their bud is present. But which purpose that is the bud is present in that particular species of this sweet potato means? That is the vegetative propagation purpose. Vegetative propagation means the vegetative reproduction. Okay, that purpose, there is the presence in a vegetative buds. That's a root region, they presence in a bud. That only one, that is the example of this, good example of the species is the sweet potato. Understood, ma? Say yes or no? Yes. Then also their presence in a, very good. So there is a root hairs or present, isn't it? This root hairs only, they mainly, they absorbing that water and mineral salts from the soil. So whatever the things you learned about, this is the nature of the root system, that's the things only you ought to be right about. That's the characteristics features of root system. Clear children? Say yes or no? Yes. The next one, regions of root. Okay, the first one, what's mean by root system, and second one, what is the characteristic features of this root, and then third one is what is the regions of roots. So all of you look this specimen children. So this is your called as, the name is known as root. Understood? So this is the roots. Suppose the regions of roots means, so all of you look this one. This is the tip portions of the root. Understood, ma? So this is the tip portions of the root. Clear? This tip portions of the root, so all of you listen. This tip covered by the dome shape of this parenchyma cell is there, children. So that is we are called as, the name is known as root cap. Okay, suppose if that this is the roots means, this is the root tip means, so here that's a dome shape of this. Clear? This is the dome shape of the parenchyma cell is there, children. So that is we are called as the name is known as root cap. So that is we are called as the name is known as root cap. Clear, children? Then how they are dividing the regions of the roots means above this root cap. Okay, above this root cap. So that is they divided into three regions, children. What are the three regions means? First one, the tip of the root is we are called as the name is known as meristematic zone. Understood? So this tip of the root, so that region is the dividing the zone or the dividing the region is known as meristematic zone. Clear? Then above this is the region, the meristematic region. So that region is they are called as the name is known as zone of elongation. So that is we are called as the name is known as zone of elongation. Okay. Then the third zone is they are called as the zone of maturation. The zone of maturation. Understood, ma? Then third region, this is the part is we are called as the name is known as zone of maturation. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Just all of you look this specimen. I am showing that three regions, children. So all of you listen. First one, the tip means so they covered in a dome shaped cell, the parenchyma cell. That is we are called as the name is known as root cap. Clear? Then above that is the region. So here they dividing, this is the root region. This is the root part is dividing in a three zones, children. What are the three zones means? First one is meristematic zone. That's very tip regions of the root. Clear, ma? The next one, just above that's the region is we are called zone of elongation. And then so this is the region is we are called as the name is known as zone of maturation. Understood, ma? So these are the three regions. But these three regions, so this is the root, these three regions, they have certain characteristic features. Okay? They have some certain characteristic features. So all of you listen. What about the characteristic features of these regions of the roots means? That's a position based. The type of which type of the cell is present in that region, and then what is the function is having in that one. Understood, ma? What are the three characters? Position based. Very good. What is the type of the cell is present, and then what is the functions of that one. Okay. So first, if we are looking that's one by one means, first one, the position of the cells. Position means first one, the meristematic zone, there is presence in the tip of the region. Okay, so so there is the very tip regions only they presence in the meristematic cell. Then if we are looking in the second zone, the zone of elongation just lies above this is the meristematic zone. Then zone of elongation just lies above that is the very good zone of elongation. Understood, ma? But finally the maturation means so this is the region. Clear, children? Say yes or no? First one, the position is the presence in a tip of the meristematic cell. Then zone of elongation just lies above this is the meristematic zone. This meristematic zone, finally the maturation stage means so there is the just lies above the zone of elongation place. Clear, ma? The next one, type of the cell. Meristematic cell. You know that meristematic cells means so that is the growing cell. Okay, so that can divisible one. So there is increasing the number of the cells. Okay, that's the ability they have. That's the meristematic cells. Clear? This meristematic cells. What is the type of the cells? The meristematic cells are divisible one. So they continuously they increase in the number of the cells. Understood, pa? Say yes or no? Yes. Next one. So here, the second one, zone of elongation means they presence in the cells or elongated like structures. Okay, the type of the cell is elongated structures. Then the maturation zone means, so there only the differentiated to mature type of the cells or developing stage. Okay, the very good matured cells or developing the stages we are called, that name is, so there is the zone of maturation. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes. Then third one, function. Already I said merismatic cells means, so that can be the quality is the divisible one, the growing one, and then increasing the number. And what will happen? The increasing the tip of the root will be that's increased. That is the major functions of merismatic zone. Clear? Second one, zone of elongation. Elongation means increasing the length of this root region. Okay, the increasing the length of the root region, and also this is increasing the widewise. Understood, pa? Say yes or no? Yes. Then finally, the functions of this zone of maturation. The functions, that zone of maturation region means, so there only the cells are, they developed into mature form. Mature forms means they forming in an epidermis, cortex, vascular tissues, everything is the functioning processes, they start to are maturing in that's the stage of, that's a zone of maturation. Understood, pa? Say yes or no? Clear? Is it clear? Very good. Once again, I am going to tell about this, the major concept of the region of the root. Just you imagine, this is the part of the zone. Okay, this zone that is divided into, that is comes under in the three zones or three regions. First one is the root cap is present, children. That's a, what is the shape of this root cap? Very good. Dome shape parenchyma cells. Okay, that is covered by a tip of the root. That is we are called as, the name is known as root cap. Then above that is the region of this root cap. They divided into three. One is merismatic zone. Second one is the zone of elongation and zone of maturation. Okay. These three zones or these three regions based on a certain characteristic features, some function also there. That characteristic features based only, first we are going to mentioning in the position, and second one is type of the cells, and the third one is what about the functions of that one. Clear, children? Is it clear? Will you able to follow? Say yes or no? Yes, very good, children. Okay. The next one is we are going to learn about that types of root system. Okay, types of root system. Have you any idea about the types of root system? Tell me. Yes, good. What are the major types of root system? Very good, children. If I am asking the question, immediately you know that the type of root system is, so there is the two type of root system. One is taproot system and another one is fibrous root system. Clear? So this is the very good examples of the dicotyledons plant. So this is we are called as, the name is known as very good taproot system. The mostly that is presence in a, so that is presence in a dicotyledons plants. Clear? Then so this is the adventitious roots. Clear? Mainly the two type of root system, taproot system and adventitious root system. So first one, the taproot system, so that is presence in a dicotyledons plants, adventitious roots, so that is the presence in a monocotyledons plants. Are it clear, children? Yes. The next one we are going to learn about, that's a detailed study of this taproot system and adventitious root system. Clear, ma? Yes. But first of all, you know this, when you are putting into this a seed, clear? That's a seed. First, that's a germination. So there is initial stages we are called as, the name is known as radicle, isn't it? So if we are putting in the seed in the soil, first the germination is the radical part. Clear? So from that elongation, from that prolongations, they developing from the radical region, they arising that rooters we are called as, the name is known as taproot. Mainly this found in a dicotyledons plants. Clear? But the main form of the root, they developed from the radical part. That type of the first initial, the root is known as taproot system. Clear? Yes. Then taproot system or another one name is we are called as the name is known as primary roots. Clear? Then what do you mean by secondary root? Do you have any idea? This is the taproot or primary root. From this arising in a lateral branches, isn't it? These. Okay? These lateral branches we are called as the name is known as secondary roots. Clear, children? Then from this is the lateral branches, again they arises the root, that is we are called as the name is known as tertiary roots, and finally we are calling in a very minute structures of this structure is there, these roots, that is we are called as the name is known as root hairs. Okay, so that is we are called as the name is known as root hairs. So that's why only they are going in, that is the root system. The first one, taproot means we know that. Then what is meant by secondary roots, and then finally we are calling in a tertiary root, whatever it is. Understood, ma? Have you got it one idea? Say yes or no? Yes, good, very good, children. Next one, adventitious roots. The second type of the root is known as adventitious roots. Okay. What do you mean by adventitious roots? All should listen the concept, children. I said that taproot means that is developed from, that is the radical part. Isn't it clear? Yes. But here adventitious roots means that is not developed from the radical regions, children. Clear? That is not developed from the radical region. From that is the any part of the plant body. Clear? From any part of the plant body means from the node region or internodal regions or leaf region or stem region, whatever it is. Clear? That region developing the root is known as adventitious roots. Clear? That's best one example of the species. That's a nodal region arises, that's a root. That's very good example of the species is pepper nigrum. Pepper nigrum, so that is black pepper. We are called as nalla melagino. So that's the species is on good examples for from the nodal region the roots are arising. That's a good examples for that adventitious types of fruit. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Then second one, what do you mean by fibrous root system? So that also they comes under in this adventitious types. Clear? So here the monocotyledons plants, first that's the initial stage one root is developing, that seedling stage first initially developing the roots, they have the ability, that's the quality is very short lived. Okay, very short-lived nature of this first initially started the root. Okay, that initially started the root is immediately, very shortly, that is they dead in condition. After that developing, that roots are they developing in a, that's a clustered manner. Okay, that is a clustered manner. The roots are very thread-like structures. So this one. That's a thread-like structures. The group of the thread-like structures of the root is, we are called as, the name is known as fibrous root system. The fibrous root system, that's the monocotyledons plants only that can produce a stem, right? Okay. What is that? How will you that's developing means initial stages, the seedling stage, the developing the first roots. That is short-lived in nature. Then again, the lateral roots or arises from that is the equal level. Mostly that's the equal level of this thread-like root is developing, children. These developing roots, this totally the equal size of the thread-like structure of the root is collectively called as, the name is known as fibrous root system. Okay, this is the very good examples of the species mostly in grasses. Clear? Grasses and also called as that this some paddy plant species. Paddy, that's the binomial name is known as. Do you know, children? Say yes or no? Oryza sativa. Correct. Okay. So these are the plants. They developing in a fibrous root system. Understood, ma'am? But the type of the roots means you know that differentiation. So there is a dicotyledons plants. This is comes under monocotyledons plants. Clear? The monocotyledons plants means so they comes under in adventitious types of the root system. Then this is the dicotyledons plants means so their presence in a taproot system. Clear? Then so here this is the major two type of root system. From this one we are learning in what do you mean by taproot system and what do you mean by secondary roots and what do you mean by tertiary roots, and finally from that tertiary roots how will you developing it, that's a root hairs. Clear, children? Then so this is the monocotyledons plant. So here we are learn about this the two type of root system. One is adventitious roots and another one is fibrous root system. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Very good, children. Next one, finally we are looking about this is the functions of roots. Okay? The functions of roots means, so that is they comes under in a two type of this functions, children. First one is primary function and second one is secondary function. Based on that function, that is comes under in a two types. Primary function means you know that the root hairs are they absorbing water and mineral salts from the soil, isn't it? That's a primary function. And also this plant, that's a root system, the firmly fits into the soil. That is a major duty for root system. That's a primary function. Clear, children? Will you able to follow? Do you remember what are the major functions of root system? Very good. First one is absorbing very good water and mineral salts from the soil, and second one is the root can helps to fix the plant into the soil. Clear? Then secondary roots means so the roots are sometimes they modified to developing in some of the secondary function means this is sometimes they modifying this is the roots they modified to storaging of the fruits and breathing functions. Okay, so the next one is there is a photosynthetic function. Some of this additional function has comes to developing or modifying the structure of the roots region. So they do it in some of this work. Okay, that is we are called as the name is that is categorizing the function is known as secondary functions. Clear, children? So these are the two major types of function. Once again, so recall that from its beginning to end. First one, the parts of flowering plants, that is called as the name is known as angiosperms, or we are called as the name is known as magnoliophytes. So there is angiosperm plants, so they comes under in a two system. One is root system and another one is shoot system. First we are moving into this root system. This root system, first we are going to learn characteristic features of root system, the regions of root system. The regions of root system, they comes under in a three zones or three regions. First one is merismatic zone, zone of elongation and zone of maturation. Okay, we studied certain features also, certain characteristic features of these zones based. Clear? Then finally we learned that types of root system. That's a root system is two. One is taproot system and another one is adventitious roots. Clear, children? Very good. Thank you, students. Thank you for listening this video. Thank you. Thank you very much.